I usually will have something like oatmeal or quinoa for breakfast, or I might eat a salad, which would be here's lettuce and onion, or some fresh coleslaw, homemade coleslaw with pecan and blueberry and cauliflower and red cabbage. I might eat some blueberries for breakfast. I might take and boil up a potato and have that with butter and salt. And then here's a piece of corn on the cob that I might eat for breakfast from last night's barbecue. I just put some salt on there and eat it cold for breakfast. I want to say a word about raw milk. There's nothing better for acid reflux than raw milk. Raw milk is the best, most nutritious food. It's not only full of protein and probiotics, but it's full of enzymes, so it makes it easy to digest. Then, for the evening meal, I will eat my own homemade soup. Now, I like here is my vegetarian bean soup. It's frozen right now, but it's made from navy beans, potatoes, corn, carrots, mushrooms, onions, salt, and butter. And then here I've made vegetarian lentil soup out of lentils, tomatoes, celery, onions, and carrots. And then here would be a batch of vegetarian borscht from beets, potatoes, carrots, onions, cabbage, corn, salt, and butter. Right there, it's delicious. I might take garbanzo beans and make something. There'd be some lentils, and if I don't have any soup available, I'll open a can of beans. Here's some organic navy beans, and then here'd be some organic black beans. Now that would be my supper. 2 or 3 or 4 days, every 2 or 3 or 4 days, I will eat meat. But this is all vegetarian to this point. During the day, I'll snack on here are pecan nuts, raw pecan nuts, and raw cashews. And then I might have a spoonful of raw cashew butter or a spoonful of raw almond butter. In the evenings, I like to make a milkshake out of with this blender here. With the blender here, I might add some sweetener and throw in a peach and some raw milk up to about here, and blend it up and have a milkshake. That's very good for the stomach. And or another thing, in the wintertime, oftentimes I'll take and fill my stomach with fresh squeezed orange juices. Cut those oranges in half. Oh, that was close. And squeeze the oranges and have fresh squeezed orange juice. Or what's really good to fill the stomach is watermelon. Any of these fruits are just wonderful for the stomach to prevent acid reflux. I might take, and here's an apple, I might take and make some apple sauce in the blender so that it's, if I was to cut up that apple, it's full of enzymes right now. And I might have, if I did eat honey at all, it would be raw honey. Here it is in the honeycomb. And now here is the point that I want to make here is that eating meat will activate acid reflux. Eat meat only once every 3 or 4 days as follows. Take a proton pump inhibitor on an empty stomach about 1.5 hours before eating the meat. Now that would be this right here. Here's I'm taking here is omeprazole, and I'll take one of these omeprazole pills about 1.5 hours before eating the meat, and then consume a large portion of fresh fruit an hour after the meal. So after I've eaten the meat, then I'll dive into a big portion of watermelon or orange juice or apple juice, something like that. In other words, I'll consume 1 dose of a proton pump inhibitor only once every 3 or 4 days. And the rest of the time, I'll be eating, the rest of the days for the evening, I'll be eating this homemade vegetarian soup. And now, so we need to break the habit of eating whatever you want whenever you want it. And you always want to eat on an empty stomach. And if ever acid stomach develops, use sodium bicarbonate antacid. And take some of these sodium bicarbonate antacid pills. If I have a bad case of acid reflux, I'll take about that many acid pills and dissolve them in water and swallow them down. And that's the best thing for if acid ever does develop. And so that's what I do. So that's what I do. And now the things not to do, the best things not to do are, in order to conquer acid reflux, never consume pasteurized or homogenized dairy products. Never introduce food into a stomach that is in the process of digesting a previous meal. No smoking, no alcohol, no coffee, no chocolate, no fast food, no potato chips, no donuts, no spicy food, no processed food, no spicy sauce, no gravy, and no garlic. And by eating this diet for the last year or so, I virtually, literally have eliminated acid reflux from my system. Thanks.